wisdom,
prudentia,
justice,
justitia,
temperance,
temperantia,
courage.
fortitudo.
Applying ancient philosophy to modern life, this is the Sunday Stoic.
Testing 1, 2, 3. All right, I am at the family farm in beautiful Montezuma, Ohio, and I am here with my grandmother, Emily, who a bunch of you called in and wished her a happy birthday recently, and I thought it would be great to hear from her, and she can say something to you as well. Hey, Grandma. You just talk right into that phone, or just talk just like that. That's fine.
I just want to say thanks for all the birthday wishes that were sent my way, and I wish Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everybody. Have a nice one.
Thanks, Grandma.
Does that sound okay?
That sounds great. Welcome to the Sunday Stoic Podcast. This is Steve. Well, we've reached the end of 2019. This is it, the last Sunday of the year. And in keeping with tradition, we will talk a bit about resolutions and things of that nature. We know that resolutions fail, and now is the time for assessment. Look back at your goals from last year, and then look at your performance now. How do they match up? How do they compare? The Stoics tell us at the end of each day to review where have we succeeded, where have we failed, how could we do better. We should do the same thing at the end of a year. Where have we succeeded? What are our big successes? Where did we fail? This is essentially assessing our performance and then doing a course correction as needed. We all make promises that fail, and I have done the same. I can look back at some of my goals, and I can tell you I have failed. One thing that I really stress is that you pick goals that are trackable and easily monitored, and then something you can look at the end of the year and assess. One thing I wanted to monitor this year at the end of the year was how much did I blow on Amazon.com, and then compare it to last year, hoping that I was working on my desires and bringing them down and only spending money on things I really needed. And I can tell you that on that front I failed. Why? Because I spent about $400 more this year than I did last year. That was something I was not happy to see. Of course, some of those things we spent were on things for our son and things for gifts for Christmas and all of that. Not necessarily all for me, but still, I did not succeed on that front. I intend fully to succeed next year. And how will I do that? What is my actionable goal here? I'm going to try to keep a journal where I write down the things that I want, the desires that I have for material things, and have a mandated 1 week at least between writing it in the journal and actually purchasing it. Put a buffer between a waiting period, if you will, between desire and action. A time for me to review. Do I need this? And then I want to ask myself some questions. Do I need this? Will this truly improve my life? Or will it be another piece of junk taking up space? Is it worth the cardboard box that Amazon will ship it in? So there's a failure on my end. Also, weight-wise, I have failed. I hoped to be down to a specific weight, and I was getting closer, and then Christmas happened, and oh my God, let me tell you what. At the beginning of this episode, you heard from my grandmother, whom many of you wished a Merry Christmas to, and it was a great trip with my parents, but my gosh, is it chaotic there. First of all, lots of crap to eat, and lots of socialization, lots of visitors, and I failed to stoically monitor my intake of calories. It was nonstop while I was there. Visitors over and over. Every night there would be 5-10 people coming to visit, and cookies and roast venison and fried walleye from Lake Erie, and then more pie. It was just insane. And I did not gain as much as I could have, but I didn't do well. So I am rationing now pretty heavily to get back towards where I want to be. I did not achieve the goal I wanted, but I am going to pursue it further. I also have started and stopped running a few times this year. I intend to continue running when I can this year. But several of my goals I have half-assed accomplished this year, but maybe not made solid habits of it. So based on one of my the comments of one of my listeners and patrons, Tom, I'm going to put an app on my phone that is a habit tracker, and I think I'll try that out. Kind of like Benjamin Franklin's journal, if you've ever looked at how he journaled, where he kept track of virtues and vices. How did he perform? It's how well did you perform the habit you're trying to build? Did you do it every day this week, or 3 times this week, or twice this week? Whatever your schedule is, you can work on that habit. So some habits for our family. We, as you know, our family motto, may we be, I gotta remember our family motto. May we be humble, curious, thankful, and kind. I have that out of order. Thankful, humble, curious, and kind. We kind of built our I won't say it's our what we want to do this year, but what we want to do as a family consistently. We want to ensure that we are curious, meaning we are, if I had a patron saint, it would be Tom the Curious rather than Doubting Thomas. I think Tom the Curious would be a better name. I want to pursue knowledge, understand the universe as well as I can. I think finding out about nature and things like that is fascinating and not a waste of time at all. And spending time in it is important. So that's one of the noble aspirations I share with my wife, and we hope to involve our child in it. We want to be kind in that we want to be just, and we want to help our fellow humans as much as possible, and we're looking at ways at performing that and doing more of that. We also want to be creative, spending time doing things like this, creating not just content for others to consume, but just being creative and not just a consumer. These are things that we as a family want to pursue and ensure that we instill into our son's life. So my concrete goals for this upcoming year for me are going to be to work on that weight and the consumption of material things, to actually get rid of some material objects. I may acquire some material objects, but I want to ensure I am acquiring quality things that have a specific and important purpose, and at the same time get rid of things. I have a lot of clutter, and I always want to do this. I got to figure out an actionable way to pursue it. I want to get rid of stuff so that everything has room and there's not things on top of things, which is it's kind of how I grew up, and it's how I live in some cases, and I want to do better. That's what's normal to me, but I want normal to be a little more organized, and I got to reset that somehow. I'd like to pursue that. I want to read philosophy, the Stoics, and beyond. But I don't want to read for the sake of reading. I want to take something with it and put it into action. So I want to journal more, to reflect and put into action. I want this year to be about temperance, which is a hard one for me. Just not spending too much money. Temperance, as well as justice, and courage. I want to ensure that I am not silent when I think I need to speak up, just because it's someone who I admire saying something but they're saying something I disagree with. I need to be sure I speak up and counteract things that I am certain are not true. So these are things that are running through my mind and things that I'd like to pursue. How about you? What are you going to do this year? I invite you to jot them down. Feel free to email me if you want. Tell me what they are. You don't have to do that, but jot them down. Make a plan, and then figure out what will things look like if I accomplish these things. How will I know if I've accomplished them? resolutions mean nothing if they're not actionable. So if I say, I want to lose weight, that's not actionable. But if I say, by this date, I want to be at this certain specific weight, and by this date, I want to be at this specific weight, and here is how I'm going to modify my diet. Those are actionable things, and then you have taken steps to pursue those actions. So be sure that your plans are specific. They're based on broader concepts, like I want to be more just. Okay, that's super vague. But if you say, I want to ensure that I spend at least 40 hours this year helping others, well, now you have a goal that you can act on. So make broad kind of statements that are like your foundational statements. I believe that a person should be this, this, and this. Just, kind, curious, whatever. Then go to the next level and say, okay, what are some things that a person that would display these behaviors do? Okay, a just person would do this, this, and this. Then pick those specific items that you think you can do, and then give yourself a measurable target, something that you can track. And then at the end of the year, next year, you can check to see if you accomplish those things. And you can do so in a very specific way. Did I spend 40 hours doing this? Nope, I did not. What can I do to do better next time? And we can make progress in that direction. So think about your resolutions. I'm going to start refining mine, and I will post my resolutions once I get them figured out specifically on my Patreon blog. Anyone can see it. It's not going to be for patrons only. I'll post it to the public, but I'll put it up there sometime in the coming week. So, thank you all for your support. Have a very happy new year, and I will see you all in the 20s. Carpe diem.
Thank you for listening to the Sunday Stoic. If you enjoyed the show, please subscribe, rate, and review the Sunday Stoic on iTunes. Become a member of the Sunday Stoic team, earn rewards, and be an integral part of the show by becoming a patron at www.patreon.com/SundayStoic. Contact the show by emailing sundaystoic@gmail.com or by leaving a voicemail at 501-503-3132. To find out more, visit www.sundaystoicpodcast.com. And as Steve always says, carpe diem.